Welcome in, guys, to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. This is your host, JustCMTexx, and I'm back, and we're getting ready to go over my February tier list. Yeah, I know it's a little bit late. I get it, and I've had some of you guys asking me about the tier list, so we're gonna go ahead and get ready to talk about the tunes and things of that nature that are on the tier list. All right, so I'm giving some understanding and in-depth insight before War of Champions. I may have another tier list coming out to talk about a War of Champions update, but I'm just thinking about that right now. Nothing too serious, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this tier list. Before I do, there's going to be a video link down in the description below. During War Champions, I was supposed to give away 100k gold tokens. I only gave away 50. Still have another 50k gold tokens to give away. So in the video that is going to be linked in the description, you want to just go ahead, click on that, hit that thumbs up button, and comment 50k gold tokens, and you're going to be entered in for a chance to win those 50k gold tokens. And I will be sending out that information for who won tomorrow in the evening around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I just wanted to go ahead and give you that heads up. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this tier list. Now, as we look at the tier list, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the D tier. Okay, this D tier tunes doesn't mean that the tunes cannot necessarily be used, but it's just that within the meta and how things work right now, there are other tunes that are better to be able to be used that can fill some of these tunes spot and things of that nature. So for example, like Harlan is a healer, but you know, if you have William does a little bit of healing as well too. And some of these kits here for the tunes that are in the D tier are a little bit slower than what you would have in a regular tune kit that's not necessarily in this tier. So let's go ahead and look at one of the tunes that's in the D tier. We're gonna go ahead and look at Yumiko. Now Yumiko was good in challenge run and things of that nature. You know, you had a lot of people using her. I used her as well, but we were using her because of the confounding, you know, some of the XP level of the tunes, and you know, challenge run was very, very high. So, you know, you want to try to confuse them to get them to hit one another and things of that nature. You need lots and lots of control if you're going to play through challenge run. So Yumiko was one of those tunes that we used. So she had the confounding. Okay. And then when we go ahead and look at Yumiko's kit here, just, you know, she does the damage 450. You didn't really have her for the damage, but that days getting that crit and being able to constantly use the confounding was good source in the early game. But as more tunes progress, Yumiko was one of those tunes that was there in the beginning of the Mythic era. You get better tunes, more tunes come out with confounding, and you just find better placement for her. So this is why Yumiko is on the D list. Doesn't mean that she can't be used, it's just that there's other tunes that can be able to fill that spot. So we have Pete, Maggie, Bruce, Shane, Jesus, Gabriel, Carl, Connie, Elodie, Dante, who used to be one of the best healers in the very beginning, but we have other healers that come out since then. You got Dexter, Sadiq, Darius, Gator, Holly, right? And Gator can go off in the right team, but his kit needs to be reworked in order for him to fit into the current meta on defense. So this is what you have here for the D tier list. Now let's go ahead and get into the C tier list. Now I know what you're gonna say. Dayu is in the C tier list. Lady Z, Gia Fang, these guys could be higher. And guess what? You are absolutely correct. These guys can be higher. But what you want to think of when you thinking about the tier list and you're looking at these tunes is this, okay? They work well in teams that benefit them. If you put these tunes by themselves, they're not going to be as powerful. They have to work in a certain team, okay, in order for them to be able to work together. And if you don't have them in that team individually, they are not good. So this is why we have this here with the C tier list. Now, with that being said, Gia Fang can be +3. So she can be as high as an S tier tune depending on the tier, the team that she's in. So could Dayu. If you put them in a certain team, they can be very, very, very good together. So once again, it just depends on how you put them together. Lady Z can do some work as well too. She has like a +1/+2 with her as well, you know. And then some of these tunes, you know, could be very, very good, but they're kits. So like Tyrese could be +1 as a B tier, and so could Frost. Frost could be +2 as high as an A tier if you're using him in a main team, right? Like there's certain ways you can be able to work them to be able to put them into these team structures, and that these tunes will actually be pretty good. But alone, that is our understanding here. When these tunes are alone by themselves, this is when they come into focus. Now, if you would like for me to do a tier list guide based off of team capability, then I can be able to do that too. And then you'll see a lot of different changes, because some of these tunes are a nightmare when they're in certain teams. So this is the CT list tunes here, okay? And when we look at some of their kits, you know, just a little bit underneath where you would want a, let's say, all-star kit from a tune to be, you know, they're just a little bit outside of that scope. So for example, let's go ahead and look at Dale here. All right, when you have Dale, we go ahead and look at Dale's kit. Dale, when you view him max, he does have the manic special, which is every turn, if this character is at or below 75% HP, this character gains 50% AP. So you have Dale with the manic there. Now he does have enemy resistance is lower, you know. He does have when attacking opponent with the debilitating status, plus when being attacked by opponent, right, 60% defense. So you do have this, right? Now there are ways where Dale could work, but like I said, he is just below what we would call a top tier tune. So this is what we have here when you're looking at the kits and things of that nature, right? He does that 300% damage to 3 enemies. Those enemies get dazed and impaired for 2 turns. Turn 1, he does keep going off with a negative 30% AP drain. But like I said, there are better tunes to be able to put into your team to be able to use them instead of Dale. So this is what we have here when it comes to this C tier list tunes. Now on the next tier is our B tier tunes. Okay, now these tunes could be +1/+2. So Rick could be a +2 tune, Andrea +1, Ash +1, Laupo can be +2. Okay, she is very good when you put her in the correct team. Holiday Carl, Wine, Connor, Dr. Stevens as well. Christmas Carol is pretty good here at that B tier list. Dario is another good tune as well. Isabella. We have Ivanova, Thanksgiving Tyrese. I think he's a little bit underrated. He's actually pretty good. Old Man Gregor, Princess Razzo, Romanov. Sandy is here at the B tier list. Sandy used to be a S tier tune. She kind of fell off with more attack tunes coming into the game, but this is what you would expect with free to play tunes. After a while, they start to lose their value as more tunes come into the game. Thomas Richards, Uncle Sam, and Andrea. These tunes here are right there. They're middle of the pack tunes that can be able to add substantial benefit to your team if you have them in your team. Okay, so like Laupo, if you put her behind an Ezekiel, she's a nightmare. Well, you know, a combination of William and things of that nature. And this is why I was saying, if we want a tier list based off of team setup, then that's a little bit different. But alone, this is where Laupo will stand at here in the B tier list. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our A tier list tunes. Now, I know some of you will say, okay, these tunes are here in the A tier list. Why are they here in the A tier list? Some of them are S tier. You don't know what you're talking about. I get it. I understand that. But here's what you want to think about. Once again, these tunes can be moved up a tier, down a tier, however you would like it. Matter of fact, you can go ahead and drop down into the Discord and hit me with your tier list. Let's see what you have for the month of February, who you think are some of the top and most overrated or underrated tunes in the game. But by themselves, they can only do certain things. And then with teams, these tunes are absolutely very good. They can be moved up +1 as well there. So what we have here on this tier list, we have Andre. Now, Andre can definitely be S tier. There's a different understanding I have of Andre after War Champions. After War Champions, he is an absolute nightmare, okay? This is being based on before War of Champions, he was in the A tier list. Now, obviously, we know next time we have a tier list based off of playing a lot this weekend and getting into some more testing, he's a nightmare. He's absolutely very good, right? Lori, Carol, Kapoor, Jackie Headless, Herschel can be S tier as well. Gentleman, Shreds. The only downside to Gentleman is he's only a 1 target tune, but he destroys these targets when he hit them. So we have Davey, Diamond, Governor, Jesse Anderson, Marcus. We have Martinez, Mirabelle, Morgan. After the release of the Mythic Trial tunes, he can definitely be S tier, with everybody being able to get him to LB3. We have Rudolph Shiva. Rudolph Shiva could be S tier, and so could Mr. Lou. We have Negan. We have Raulito, Nimrod. Nimrod can definitely be S tier as well. Valkyrie, Zachary, Vance, Ty, Barker, Harper, and Cliff. Vance can definitely be up there as well too. These guys have some really good kits and been seeing Vance used in multiple scenarios as of late. Some really good tunes, man. So this is what we will have for a tier tune list. Now, if we go and look at some of these tunes, you can see why these tunes would be in this tier list. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to look at Andre and see why these tunes are here in this tune list. So here we go. This is what Andre does. He's a payback tune. We already know payback is a problem. Now, he has cunning, so he's 30% less likely to trigger effects from weapons. All right. At the start of each wave, this character gets 30% bonus HP. All tough teammates get plus 45% defense, right? When performing the payback skill, revive one teammate with 80% of their max HP. Not only that, he attacks the target for 300% damage. He cleanses all penalties as well. And then on his rough, damage 250% up to 5 enemies. This character gets 50% bonus HP. So as you can see, and then you can put any weapon you want in his hand, you know, so you got some impaired weapons, you got reduced crit attack. There's just tons of different ways you can go. So this guy has a really good kit and everything like that. So this is what you would see from a tune that's in that A tier, S tier rank that is right up there in that area. Now, when we go and we look at the S tier list, okay, with the S tier tunes, all right, these are the tunes that I have in the S tier. Now, you may have a different set of tunes, but these are the tunes that I found that really stand out in RTS currently at the time, and you know, as we go into the post War of Champion era. So you have Eva, you have Michonne, Pam Anderson, Skeleton Steve, who is an absolute nightmare. You have Titan, Trader, William, one of the best Mythic Trials, if not the best Mythic Trial tuner that we've had to date. Lydia, Michonne 2K, and Mike. Okay, Mike is a absolute lifesaver. We're gonna go ahead and look at Mike kit and show you why he stands out and what Mike is able to do for those of you who haven't had your chance to get your hands on a maxed Mike tune. So let's go ahead and look at Mike. All right, so what we see here is Mike is a bodyguard. All right, while not stunned, the first time each turn that allied teammate takes 30% max damage from a single attack, rush, active, a signature, any one of those things, right? He's going to take that damage, reduce it by 50%. All right, now he has cunning, so he's less likely to trigger the crit weapons. On top of that, when attacking, the target gets 80% heal reduction for 2 turns. Okay? When performing a bodyguard specialist, 40% chance to give somebody else guard and shield. When an enemy dies, one other enemy gets 50% infection for 2 turns, right? On the first attack, okay? He's going to give an enemy 50% infection for 2 turns. You pair this with the 80% heal reduction. He's killing a tune, and then he is just going to taunt, he's going to heal himself, and infection is going to be spread throughout the game on the other team when these people die, right? This is why you see a guy like Mike as an S-class tune, because he is one of the best tunes in the game to be able to get. He's also on the 90% gold token wheel. Some people have pulled him, some haven't. If you can get a chance to get your hands on him, he's an absolute nightmare, and he can help in that free-to-play-ish area there as well too. So this is what you have. This is my February tier list. Let me know down in the comments what you guys have, what you like, things of that nature. This is your boy, JustCMTexx. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Hit that join button, 99 cents, man. Help support the channel. I appreciate it all. Love you all. Peace.